Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Xbox Casuals, the Xbox podcast. I'm one of your hosts, Corey Deering, and alongside me, as always, is my Game Awards trophy, Josh Finney.
I am a trophy. Thank you very much.
Yeah, your hair could be the wings of that trophy, Josh. You just got
It really could be. I for the first time in a very long time, I don't have my hair pulled back. I wasn't even thinking about it, and yeah. Oh man, it is. It has been a thing for everybody curious. We are recording this in the middle of the Game Awards. They've been going on for about an hour right now, plus the half-hour pre-show. It's been a whole thing already, Corey.
Yeah, there's been some pretty wild announcements already.
Yeah, I think we're gonna hold off on the announcements and the winners just a little bit. Let some more of them kind of rack up.
Yeah,
we have two other things to talk about first, but aside from Indiana Jones, are we playing anything fun?
I'm playing cat and mouse on emails. That's what I'm doing.
Corey has been extremely busy working on the bossies for this year.
Yeah, Josh is a big part of it. Writing scripts and reading.
I'm writing scripts. I'm presenting. Very happy to be. Of course. What else would I be presenting? I'm presenting Best Xbox Game, guys.
Yeah. I mean, who else would it be?
Who else would it be? And, I'm also doing, a little bit of anime because I really push for there to be an anime category. So,
yeah. I mean, look, people wanted an entertainment category. I'm like, well, you got to throw anime in there. Got to make Josh happy. So, but yeah, I mean, it's been Indiana Jones, for the most part for me. I did download Marvel Rivals because I'm hearing amazing things about it. So I'm ready to try that out, Josh. But Indiana Jones, man, the fact that they let you open up with the opening scene of Raiders and play through it is just, man, I love it. I love it, man. Troy Baker is so good as Indy. And like the Alfred Molina stand-in is kind of goofy. It's just perfect, Josh. It's perfect. It's great.
Man. Oh boy. Sorry. I was looking at something else. Indiana Jones. Indiana Jones. So the Alfred Molina stand-in. So how far are you into Indy? Real quick.
I've played about 3 hours.
Okay, so you've made it to the first major area. You've made it past the Raiders intro, past Marshall College.
Yeah.
Man, you cannot say enough good things about this game.
Mm-mm.
This is, if Metaphor had not come out this year, this would be a serious contender for my game of the year.
I mean, it might be a contender for me.
I mean, no, and I don't say that to be negative. It absolutely should be.
Yeah.
My problem is Metaphor is not just my game of the year. It's almost my game of the generation so far.
Yeah.
As someone who could never quite get into Elden Ring, and I only just started Baldur's Gate literally last night.
Mm-hmm.
I finally caved and bought it on Xbox and started it. Playing that game on console is an experience. Man... Indiana Jones is, I think, what we always hoped and dreamed that Machine Games could do, because it very much feels like the next evolution for this studio. Mm-hmm. It very much carries on the tradition of Arcane.
Yeah, that's that. I was shocked that I was like, this feels more like an Arcane game. This feels more like Dishonored meets, I don't know, almost Prey, I guess, would be the other one. But like, instead of Blink, let's give him, something that makes sense in the 1930s when he's fighting Nazis.
It's, how do I describe this? I saw a comment from the studio director at Arcane who basically said, yeah, at this point, the way they develop games, the way that they build levels and they engage in combat and stuff, they really feel like our sister studio. Mm-hmm. And that was one of the coolest things to read, because they collaborated. Like, Microsoft always makes a big deal out of, hey, our studios collaborate. And they were already doing this, to their credit, before Microsoft bought them. Mm-hmm. Wolfenstein Youngblood is a great example of that. Mm-hmm. But maybe not a great example, but it's an example. So they work together on that. It's a big sorry, I got things falling over all over on my desk.
What's going on over there, Josh?
Oh my god, I've got Christmas gifts stacked up and they're falling over because I tried to pivot something. Um Indiana Jones, if you had told me this was made by Arcane Leon, I would not have second guessed you.
Yeah.
And that is an extremely high compliment. Arcane Leon made one of the best stealth games of all time in Dishonored 2. I think Dishonored 1's incredible too. That's, of course, from the now defunct Arcane Austin. Prey never really grabbed me. This, I want to say that even if I wasn't interested in Indiana Jones, this game would have still grabbed me.
Yeah.
Just because of the way it's built. I mean, so the Vatican is the first major area you go to. That's not a spoiler. You see it in all the trailers.
Mm-hmm.
And you look at the map and you're like, when you start unlocking the area, you're like, oh, wow, this is kind of a big area. You don't realize how deep the map design goes, how high the map design goes, how intricate each of the buildings are, how explorable they are. And like things become easier depending on what disguises you get. Like just the whole Vatican level very much feels like it was not a proof of concept, because I firmly believe that's what the Raiders of the Lost Ark intro level is. That was like a concept for what they could do with this game with Indiana Jones.
Yeah.
I don't really get the complaints about that at all.
No.
People were like, "Oh, this looks way worse." This is one of like the most technically proficient games I've seen this generation. It is running at a smooth 60 frames. There is no option to toggle performance or quality mode that I have seen.
Which is exactly what you want as a console player, essentially.
Yes. I want to make an actual plea to Phil Spencer and Microsoft right here, right now. Phil, look at me. We're on the TikTok camera, okay? Look at me. I'm telling you right now. You own id Tech. Use id Tech more than Unreal 5. Holy shit. This is one of the best optimized engines in the entire world. Look at how good Doom Eternal ran. Look at how good this is running. Man, I am so impressed with how good this game is running. It seamlessly drops you back in when you boot the game back up. Quick Resume actually works on this flawlessly. This is exactly what we needed. This feels like a true current-gen technical experience. I don't think it's an exaggeration to say. You know, I was dubious when I saw the first reviews last Thursday, and then I started playing for myself late Thursday night, early into Friday morning. This is probably the best Xbox game of the generation so far.
Yeah. Oh, I wouldn't. Yeah.
It's certainly their best AAA.
Yeah.
The only reason that I would give the caveat is I think Pentament's an absolute masterpiece. That might be Josh Sawyer's magnum opus.
Yeah. And I would put Hi-Fi Rush up there too, I think.
I think I've got Hi-Fi Rush maybe a step below this.
Well, I mean, I wouldn't put it above Indiana Jones. I would put
No. Oh, yeah. It's one of the best games. Absolutely. As one of the best non-Forza Horizon games, yes. Psychonauts 2 is definitely in that conversation. This generation has sneakily been good for Xbox on the smaller front, but they've really failed to deliver on those AAAs. And I know that you really liked Hellblade 2. I came away feeling differently about it, even though, again, it's a technical masterpiece.
Yeah.
It runs really, really well. The sound is incredible. It's basically a 5-hour tech demo, unfortunately.
Yeah. No, I 100% agree with that. I don't think it's an amazing game.
It's an experience.
It's an experience, and some people connected with it, and some people didn't, and that's okay.
If it had been like this was my argument when we not even argument, but this is just kind of my stance on it. For those who don't remember, if this had been priced at like $30, which is impossible with the level of technicality in a game like that these days, and had come out in the first year of the generation, I think we would have all been a lot more forgiving.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
This
100%.
was after no matter how you slice it, the disappointment of Starfield last year.
Yeah.
Because it wasn't Skyrim levels of incredible, right? It was just fine. And it was very technically buggy. It still is. That game's more broken now than it was at launch, if you can believe that.
I mean, I can believe it.
It's basically the exact opposite of Cyberpunk 2077, unfortunately.
Mhm.
So I think when you combine those, you're like, oh my god, this is looking really bleak for Xbox. And then they come out and they have kind of a 1, 2, 3, 4 punch of, yes, Age of Mythology is a remaster, but Age of Mythology Retold goes over super well.
Mhm.
Aura, kind of middling, but it was a brand new franchise, brand new studio that's never made a game before. Cool. It was low
It's
risk,
got
high
interesting
reward.
ideas. I think a sequel to that's going to be.
I think Oxide, when they get a little bit more underneath their feet, is going to be awesome.
Mhm.
I would not be shocked to see Oxide become a first party studio in the future
Yeah.
to work like specifically with World's Edge.
Mhm.
Then you have Black Ops 6, which is by my count the best Call of Duty in over a generation across the board.
Yeah.
Multiplayer concerns aside, like the zombies, the campaign, phenomenal.
Mhm.
Phenomenal campaign experience.
Yep.
Flight Sim kind of stumbles a little bit, but you know Flight Sim is going to work itself out. They tried a whole bunch of new cloud tech with this to not kill your hard drives, this and that. And then you have Indiana Jones. They're kind of on a bit of a hot streak.
Yeah.
Going into next year, we now know about 5 major AAA games.
Mhm.
We have Avowed, we have South of Midnight, we have, well, I wouldn't call it major, Towerborn,
The
you
Outer
have Doom
Worlds.
the Dark Ages, you have Fable, and now we're adding Outer Worlds 2 to that list.
So that's 6.
This will be the best 12 months we have ever seen for the Xbox brand.
Yeah.
If only those games, only those 6 games come out next year.
Mm-hmm. Since
It,
since the 360, those
yeah,
opening years of the 360.
which kind of in a roundabout way, I want to get back to my point that I was trying to make. I got myself a little distracted here, but it brings me back to the point that some of the reviews I was seeing for Indiana Jones were calling it the best Xbox game in a generation, and I don't personally agree with that, but it's damn close.
Yeah.
It really makes you think, because you're thinking, oh, there's just no way. There's no actual way that this is a thing. There's no way.
Right.
And then you kind of think about it, and you're like, well, what were the real competitors? We just talked about them, and a lot of them are smaller. You had 2 Ori games in there, and you had like kind of what else from the Xbox One? 2 Gears of War games, Gears 4 and 5, and that's really
Yeah.
about it.
Yeah.
Like on the AAA front, this might be the best AAA game that they've had since Sunset Overdrive.
Would you even consider that AAA though?
Yes, 100%. Sunset Overdrive was 100% a AAA game. Both in price, scope, size, everything. Yeah. I guess I wouldn't go that far. It's certainly the best AAA that they've put out since Gears 5, though, and that's not debatable.
Yeah.
That's not debatable at all for me.
Mm-mm.
I guess the real debate would be, do you think, again, notwithstanding Forza Horizon, and kind of depends on how you feel about Psychonauts.
Yeah.
I think Psychonauts is like high-end AA.
Yeah.
But man, it is kind of a miracle that this is the best game that they've put out. And I think that we all saw this as a game that was low risk, very high reward for them.
Oh yeah. No, this was, and I know a lot of people are like, well, it missed the cutoff date for Game of the Year or the Game Awards or whatever. And it's like, yeah. But that's the one good thing about this game coming to PlayStation next year, right? Is like it's going to get that second look for these.
Yeah, that really bothers me. And I guess this is kind of the other point that I want to. Oh shit! RGG just showed off a brand new IP. That's going to be huge. I would say that this highlights a bigger problem with Xbox's business strategy. We've heard all year they don't know what they're doing over there. They're just kind of announcing things on the fly. They're being told to announce things for other platforms. This is a game I really wish they would have waited to see how it reviewed, because it is reviewed phenomenally. It is the first must-own game, AAA game Xbox has put out that it was going to be exclusive to their platform in years, because Psychonauts 2 was not exclusive. Black Ops 6 is not exclusive.
Mm-hmm.
Hi-Fi Rush, yeah, it was exclusive, but like we've always made the case nobody buys a console for the $30 games,
Right.
no matter how good they are. You're not buying a $500 Series X or a $300 Series S to play Pentiment and Hi-Fi Rush. You're not doing that.
Nope.
So,
Shocker, Kojima's on stage.
Shocker, Hideo Kojima is on stage. I really hope this is the turning point. Like I think that's the bigger discussion around Indiana Jones. Yes, Indiana Jones is an incredible game. I don't want to go into too many spoilers. I would like to propose right here on the show that once we've both gotten through it, we do a spoiler cast for Indiana Jones.
Oh yeah.
I would very much like to. I'm a little past what I can surmise is the halfway point.
Yeah, I will. I mean, that's the game I'm spending the next
post Christmas. We'll convene and do a spoiler cast.
Yep.
But this is such a special experience. These are the games that we need more of. We've always said it's a matter of time until the floodgates open. It appears the floodgates have finally opened.
Mm-hmm.
If the level of quality we can expect going forward are the level of the Black Ops 6 campaign, Indiana Jones, Age of Mythology Retold, those are all in different genres.
Mm-hmm.
If you can expect that kind of quality going forward, we already know the quality of Forza Horizon.
Yep.
If we can expect that, we know what the Coalition can bring to the table. If we can expect that from all of these studios, holy shit, we know about the greatness of Obsidian. And now you're telling me Obsidian has not one, but 2 AAA games for next year?
Yeah.
That does confirm to me that Avowed, we already knew Avowed was supposed to come out this year.
Yeah.
Them pushing that, though, I think is really a way to keep the momentum going.
Yeah.
Because I think had that released in November, it probably doesn't get the attention it deserves.
Mm-hmm.
Because Black Ops was the talk of the town.
Yeah.
Like, everybody was kind of shocked at how good Black Ops was. And then I think the negative reception of Flight Sim and its new cloud system would have overshadowed an otherwise really good game.
Yeah.
It allowed them to get another round of previews in, though, and everything we've read on that game, even people who were super negative, and I don't like calling people out, and I'm not really even calling him out. Destin Legary is someone that I actually really like when it comes to Xbox content. Mm-hmm. He was like, hey, this game does not look good when we saw it 18 months ago. Mm-hmm. I disagreed because I love Obsidian, and I was like, it's going to be good. Like, trust. It's still like over a year away. It's going to be good. Then we see it at the developer direct, and he was still like, I don't know if it's going to be any good. And I'm like, it's going to be good. Trust me, it looks even better than it did last summer. And then the previews start, and he has said in every single preview event he's gone to, it is better and better and better. And he's like, it is now at a point where it's a must play. Mm-hmm. And that's the Obsidian. Obsidian is quietly their most important studio. It's not the Coalition. Yes, the Coalition is their Unreal Engine wizards, them and Ninja Theory and this and that, but holy shit.
Yeah.
I am all the way here for this. I don't know what else there is to say. Like, Xbox, I think, is finally turned. I think we can finally say they're turning the corner.
Yeah.
I'm so excited.
Yeah.
This is so good. Yeah. We did it. We're here after years of wandering through the wilderness.
After two Xbox shows with me and Josh on it. And
oh my god, just untold levels of agony that we've had.
Oh yeah, this is
we have always preached the same message: stay the course. It's going to happen eventually. This is, for me, this is kind of reminiscent of the early PS4.
Yeah, I was gonna say that like the PS3 heading into the PS4.
Like, remember the early PS4, and that's not to say the PS4 had bad games. The PS4 had some very good, underappreciated games. Bloodborne was not appreciated when it first came out.
No.
Until Dawn, I still maintain, was criminally underappreciated. It did not deserve a remake, but it was criminally underappreciated. It really took until you got Uncharted out there to be like, oh, the hits are coming.
Uh-huh.
It was just kind of a bunch of like, oh, these are the teams that didn't get out games at the end of the last generation. Like, oh, you're kind of like, lead games were Bloodborne, which FromSoft didn't have nearly the reputation it has now, in my personal opinion.
Yeah.
And Infamous Second Son, which, while fine, I think a lot of us really struggled to connect with because it wasn't Cole.
Mm-hmm.
So, but then once Uncharted 4 came, you knew these games were coming, though. You knew these games were coming, and then it was just hit after hit after hit after hit after hit. Xbox basically said, we're going to take that timeline, we're going to cram it into like a year and a half.
Mm-hmm.
And part of that's because they have finally finally, did I say finally enough? Finally gotten to the point where they have adopted the Nintendo and Sony mindset of delay the fucking game until it's ready to be played.
Right.
They have finally gotten to this point, and I'm so excited. They could have just said, hey, we're going to drop Avowed in November. Like, it's ready to go. Instead, they gave that extra 3 months for polish. It lets them pack that schedule more. And guess what? It's letting Indiana Jones shine. Because I don't know if Indy shines. And now, hey, that game gets to be eligible for the Game Awards next year now. Because it's not eligible this year. Or Indy's not eligible this year for the Game Awards, but it is kind of cleaning up everywhere else. It's getting nominated for everything. Like,
right.
I just can't believe we live in a world where not only is there a legitimate AAA Xbox game worthy of being a Game of the Year nominee, but also that is based on a beloved IP that doesn't have the greatest video game history, if we're being honest. When the last good Indiana Jones game that was like, what, Emperor's Tomb?
Yeah, I mean, that was the last functional Indiana
I don't
Jones
consider Lego Indiana Jones to be
no. Those are Lego games.
A real game.
Yeah, I mean, look, Staff of Kings on Wii was great, Josh, but
well, the last one that I played that was good was Emperor's Tomb, and I had to be reminded of Emperor's Tomb when they gave it away on backwards compatibility. Yeah. It's just, this is kind of indicative of, if you're going to take the approach that Sony has now taken with their studios, then I'm so happy, because it's time to let these studios make the games they want to make and not what you tell them to make, if we're being honest.
Right.
I am beyond excited for the future of Xbox. And I mean, we all kind of like gave the side eye when they announced Playground was going to make Fable. I have all the confidence in the world that Playground is going to make an amazing game.
Yeah.
They have taken the time. They recruited a lot of ex-Lionhead people. Man, I hope it's good.
Yeah.
I hope it's good.
I think it's going to be good. I don't think it's going to be the Fable everybody remembers from back in the day, right? I don't think there's going to be some sort of like, I mean, I think there's going to be a morality system, but I don't think it's going to change the world the way that, people think it is. I think it's going to be more about the comedy aspect of it and the British humor. And obviously they have some characters in there that are like, so I don't know. I think people need to set their expectations a little bit differently for Fable, but I also think it's going to be really good.
I would agree with that. I think that you go in with a cautious optimism until we have seen actual gameplay, but it feels like they are nailing the tone so well in these trailers.
Yeah.
But I will say right now, we are probably getting a developer direct in January, because there's no way you don't do one with Avowed being a mid-February release.
Right.
And all the rumors we've heard about South of Midnight is that it is a late March, early April release.
That game looks cool too.
I expect for the next developer direct to feature South of Midnight, Avowed, Towerborn, Doom to Dark Ages, and then I think they end with Fable gameplay for the first time. That would be my approach to it, because then you're promoting everything that's coming in the first half of the year plus Fable, which Fable right now is being positioned to be their big holiday game. The fact that we are seeing gameplay for Outer Worlds 2 makes me think that Outer Worlds 2 is maybe like an August or September release, and that Fable is October, November.
Yeah.
They are now setting it up to be able to have potentially Outer Worlds, whatever next year's Call of Duty release is, and then Fable back to back to back.
Yeah.
In subsequent months.
We always said Xbox was going to be the shooter and RPG, box, right? And they're proving it this year. So
we've said ever since they bought, Bethesda, that, hey, they own a lot of these great studios, a lot of these great RPG studios that are, aside from Bethesda, that are like really underappreciated. This is going to be the place for Western RPGs. Like, yeah, you'll be able to play CD Projekt Red games elsewhere, and at some point, I'm sure Obsidian games and Exile games are going to start coming to PlayStation. Like, it's going to happen. But this is the ecosystem you want to be a part of. One of the other things I want to know, I know that we're talking about kind of the future of Xbox. While we're talking about future of Xbox, we saw something really cool happen with Indiana Jones. Indiana Jones comes out and you can share your save between Xbox, the Microsoft PC Store, and Steam.
Yeah.
That is the first of its kind, and let me tell you something, that is massive.
Also,
Massive.
did you see that Avowed is coming to BattleNet?
I did see that. Again, I really think BattleNet needs to become the new Xbox store on PC.
I think
Just saying.
I think it's going to. I have a feeling it's going to. Right? I mean, I why wouldn't you utilize I mean, people already like the service. You own it.
Yep.
You already you can kind of start fresh and limit, the stuff that goes on there to just your stuff, and then you can still sell the stuff on Steam.
I mean, I don't even think they would limit it. I think they would just be like, "Hey, we're gonna merge the Microsoft Store and BattleNet together," because you want to keep those third party games buyable as long as they're play. I think the catch would be they have to play anywhere.
Yeah,
that would be the ultimate catch.
Yeah,
but I would not be surprised to see cross save like this for single player games. We've already seen it become the norm for multiplayer and live service games.
Mm-hmm.
We need it to become the norm for single player games now too.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of us that like to play our games on different platforms. Like a friend of mine, he's playing Indiana Jones on his Xbox, but he like today he was like, "Oh, I gotta be at my computer a lot. I'm gonna play on my computer," or vice versa. Like, "Hey, my baby is asleep right next to me. I'm gonna play on the big screen and just have my headset on."
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to sit at my PC while I'm trying to do that. And that's a really cool thing. I want to see more of that. Like, Microsoft is still pushing that forward. They even came out with an update this week for the Insider Alpha program. You can now stream your own games to your Xbox.
Mm-hmm.
You can start playing them while they're downloading as a result of this tech too, which is huge.
Right.
So very excited. I think there's a lot of really cool stuff going on.
Yeah.
The future for Xbox genuinely looks the brightest that it has in a very long time.
Yeah.
And for once, we're not saying that because of an acquisition or something of that nature. We're saying that because, hey, it's genuinely really, really good. Like, these games are extremely exciting. They're all of different genres, too. Like, another one that's probably coming in 2025, I would say, is State of Decay 3.
Oh, yeah. I forgot that.
That is such a packed year, and that's without... Tom Warren has kind of indicated that Gears E-Day might be a 2025 game. I don't know how you have room for all these.
Yeah.
I don't think it was on anyone's bingo card that Outer Worlds 2 was going to be 2025.
Yeah. I mean,
I expected Q1, Q2, 26, honestly.
Yeah. I almost wonder. I mean, I feel like unless you don't have Call of Duty coming out next year, like, you would hold Gears, right? I mean,
I feel like Gears, if it doesn't come out next fall, they're saving it for the 20th anniversary in 26.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Which would be my inclination to do anyways.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know why you wouldn't do that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. God, 20 years of Gears, man.
20 years of Gears. Yeah. Oh man. I was a youngin'.
God. I feel so
old. Corey, I was gonna say I was 12. I was 14. I was 14 and did not yet have back problems. I still had both of my legs working properly. I did not have long hair.
My girlfriend at the time bought me an Xbox with Gears and the 3 Burger King games.
Oh, dude, Sneak King is goated.
Yeah.
Those are 3 games that I would genuinely love to track down copies of just to have them in my collection.
I have them. I have them all.
I need to buy them at some point.
They're relatively cheap.
I check my retro store periodically, but they were like, yeah, every time that they come in, they sell out like instantly.
Dang.
So I really, really, really need it to come out. Yeah. Well, do we want to Do we want to jump into some game awards?
Yeah, we might as
The
well.
show's been going on for about 2 hours now. I feel like we're kind of okay right now to do this.
Yeah, we might as well. They're
All
showing
right.
a this is an Xbox commercial.
They are, and that's what made me think, like, all right, we should probably get into it. We maybe have like 45 minutes to an hour left of this
Yeah.
show and of our show. So there's plenty to talk about here. We got another it's just another This Is an Xbox trailer.
Yep.
Okay. I got really excited for a second seeing another Xbox logo.
I mean,
we'll
there's
pull up a
too
list
much
of
now.
everything that we have seen so far.
There's just too much now. Slow down.
There's just too much. Let's talk about some reveals first before the before awards. There's not that many awards left to go, honestly.
Yeah. Did you? I mean, I didn't want to
a lot of these.
I didn't want to interrupt, but Turok was announced.
Well, let's get into some of these awards. We'll start with some of the heavy hitters first. Corey, The Witcher 4 is a real thing.
It sure is.
It sure is. Well, of course, we already knew it was a real thing. I don't know if any, short of a leak that came out last night, I don't think any of us actually expected The Witcher 4 to be there today.
Yeah, I mean,
6-minute cinematic running on an unannounced NVIDIA GPU, as it said on the screen. You play as Ciri in this. The whole trailer is about Ciri.
Yeah, that's cool. Looks good.
That is awesome. This is going to be really, really cool. I personally struggled to get into The Witcher 3, but I think part of it was just where I was at in my life at the time.
Mm-hmm.
I actually really love the books that the games are based off of. I think that those books are fascinating.
Yeah.
And I really wish the TV show had been as good.
Yeah.
Big bummer that after season 1, it just wasn't good. Yeah. Season 1 was so good because it's based off of that first book, which is really an anthology of stories.
Yeah.
Set in that universe. It was our first introduction to Geralt. This is going to be huge. I can't wait to play this game in like 2029.
Yeah.
Because this is almost certainly at least 4 years away.
Yeah.
It just entered full production like a week ago.
Yeah.
So I think that we are a very long ways off on this game, unfortunately. But very excited. At least now that this trailer is out there, maybe we'll get some periodic updates. Mm-hmm. I would imagine we'll continue to see them at the Game Awards and at future Xbox showcases because CD Projekt Red and Xbox love each other.
Yeah.
I don't know how much they love each other after the Cyberpunk debacle, but they love each other.
Yeah. Yeah. I
mean, maybe. Oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say. I mean, I feel like I don't know. I feel like The Witcher. There are different expectations than Cyberpunk at this point.
I think so too, but keep in mind, Witcher 3 had a lot of bugs on console when it released.
Yeah, but they're moving to Unreal for this one.
Yeah.
So I think that kind of puts people's minds at ease a little bit at least. And obviously Xbox, the coalition helps with that. Yeah. So
I would agree with that. You won't have the panic calls from Phil Spencer 2 weeks before Christmas wondering why the fuck is this game so broken. Yeah. We sold a console with this game and we're mad about it.
Oh yeah, I forgot they had that.
They had the Xbox One console.
Yeah.
Oh my god, just what a disaster. We were supposed to get 2 DLCs. We only got 1 because of it. Well, granted, it's one of the best DLCs of all time, but
yeah. Multiplayer.
Maybe the most unexpected announcement here. I don't think it was actually... I don't know how unexpected it was. I think we kind of thought we would see something from in some regard.
Yeah.
I did not expect it to be a co-op Elden Ring game.
Yeah, that was shocking.
Elden Ring Night Rain, which takes place in a world seemingly parallel to the original Elden Ring, is a co-op standalone adventure that is coming out in 2025.
Yeah.
That part shocked me.
Yeah, that's a little shocking.
That may be genuinely the only AAA game besides Call of Duty that can go up against GTA 6 and not have to move.
Yeah. I love how he said in an interview, like, we're not making a sequel to Elden Ring, but we're exploring how to expand the IP.
I mean, this isn't technically a sequel, so
I
he
know.
is kind of right.
I know, but he
But that interview was like a week ago.
Yeah. Yeah, he literally, yeah, that's what I'm saying. He just said,
They saw everybody installing the multiplayer co-op mods and said, yo, we're leaving millions upon millions of dollars on the table right now.
Yeah.
So we'll charge them another $60, and guess what? It's going to sell another 25 million copies, and we're all going to play it.
Mm-hmm.
I will say a co-op Elden Ring is way more appealing to me than regular Elden Ring.
Yeah.
Which I have struggled to get into. I have tried a couple of times. I think FromSoft games just aren't for me. Like Soulsborne games are just not for me, and that's okay.
Mm-hmm.
I'm much more excited to go do this because I can play with friends, though.
Yeah.
That makes me want to get into it. Even if I don't end up liking it, I like to support this idea.
Yeah.
Because I know it's from, so if I do get into it, I'm going to get a world-class experience.
Yeah. Well, people really love, like, you know, is this a new Neo game? Oh, Unimusha. Holy shit.
What?
Yeah. It looks like Neo, but like, dang, 2026.
Yes, please. I love Onimusha.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
Okay. I have to go back to what we're doing, otherwise I'm going to sit here and watch the whole show. So,
Onimusha: Way of the Sword.
Oh my fucking god! I love Onimusha so much.
I saw Capcom. I'm like, dang. And I'm like, what game has like?
I'm so excited.
Man, I'm excited. I love Onimusha. I love those first two games.
God. Okay, so yeah, they gave us four announcements in a row. So in the span of about 20 minutes, we get The Witcher 4, we get Elden Ring Night Reign, we get the new untitled game from the team behind The Last Guardian, Eco, and Shadow of the Colossus, being published by Epic Games.
Yeah. That was I feel like that was announced, like they signed a deal with Epic after they left Sony, I feel like.
I don't disagree. I feel like there was a stop along the way, though. I almost feel like this was a team that was making an exclusive for Stadia at one point.
Yeah.
So
we all see how that turned out.
We all saw how that turned out.
Did you see they extended the period on Bluetoothing your Stadia controller again?
I did. It's so funny. Nobody wants that controller either.
Oh man, it looks like such a nice controller. It's a shame. I don't own one. I don't have one. I don't know if it's like a piece of junk or not, but it looks like a nice controller.
It looks like the nicest like off-brand controller you've ever bought.
Yeah. Like those PowerA.
Yeah, those PowerA like controllers that have random Nintendo characters on them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what they remind me of.
Oh, that's so fucking funny. And then you get the Outer Worlds 2 gets announced. Well, we already knew that was coming, obviously, but it gets it's the first time we've seen anything on this since that tongue-in-cheek teaser announcement back in 2021.
Yeah.
Summer 2021. So for 3.5 years, they've been silent on it. I kind of like this, though, because yes, it feels a lot longer because they haven't had games coming out consistently. Yeah. Now, this is just another cog that they're tossing out there and being like, oh yeah, by the way, you probably forgot that this existed, because let me be honest, I was borderline forgetting that this was happening.
Yeah.
And I say that despite really having all the love in the world for Obsidian.
Yeah.
I was borderline forgetting that this existed, just because, I mean, it for me, it's not really real until we're getting at least like a cinematic.
Yeah.
So to have not seen anything, and we know how much trouble Avowed went through initially. Avowed, to our knowledge, has been rebooted at least once. Probably twice. It's the last of the games that they pitched when Microsoft was looking to buy them.
Yeah.
So this has been from concept to release in some form of development for Avowed has been in development for going on 5-6 years now.
Yeah.
And that's with the COVID of it all. And, you know, now you got Outer Worlds 2. They have several teams actually working on it, working on their games, but they have two main teams there. One is on Avowed, and a smaller one, actually, if you believe it, is working on Outer Worlds 2, which is said to be 3 times as big as the first one.
Yeah.
So I just hope that the save bugs that were in the first one are not present here. That was a huge bummer. I have a friend who got completely locked out of doing it towards the end of the game, and he just was never able to finish it.
Dang.
He also had the same problem happen in New Vegas, so he's kind of got some problems with Obsidian,
Yeah.
AAA games. So
Yeah.
again, I'm very, very excited. That's maybe the most exciting thing that you could ask for as an Xbox fan is, oh God, they didn't have some major new announcement yet, but if that's all we get, I'm pretty happy with that.
Yeah.
I'm not going to lie.
Yeah. Yeah.
What else? Right as we went live, Joseph Ferris announced his next game from his studio, Hazelight, the developers behind A Way Out, and of course, Game of the Year winner, It Takes Two. He announced his next co-op adventure, which should not surprise anybody. Split Fiction, coming out March 6th.
Yeah.
I like the trend of we're announcing something and it comes out a few months later.
Yeah, imagine that. It builds excitement and people stay excited for it. Shocker.
You stay excited. You're just pummeling people with information for like 2-3 months. It comes out, and guess what? Everybody's going to remember it much more favorably later on in the year. You probably already have a Game of the Year nominee on your hands right there.
Yeah.
Like, if Grand Theft Auto 6 comes out next year, we reasonably know probably 3 of the games right off the bat that are getting nominated for Game of the Year, and it's Elden Ring Night Rain, it's Grand Theft Auto 6, and it's Split Fiction.
Mm-hmm.
So, also, the turnaround time on Split Fiction was really quick. I feel like this was extraordinarily quick.
Wait, when was It Takes Two? I feel like It Takes Two came out a long time ago.
It Takes Two came out in 2021.
Okay.
It will have been exactly 4 years when this releases.
Okay, yeah. I don't know. Those are smaller games, though. Yeah, 4 years. I mean,
they are, but they do a lot of mocap for these games.
Yeah, that's true though.
They do a lot of mocap. They basically did a huge victory lap around the industry for a full year. I'm okay with this. Like, games should take about 3 to 4 years to make a really, really, really good experience. I'm tired of these 6 or 7 year wait times. Looking at you, Microsoft and Sony, I'm getting Legend of Zelda team, 3D Mario team. I'm getting really tired of some of this shit. You can make the game a little bit smaller and still make a really good experience. Spider-Man 2 is a great example of that. Miles Morales, great example of that.
Mm-hmm.
You can make smaller games. So, pulling up the next one. Oh, look, a new Dying Light game. Gross. The Long Dark is getting a sequel 10 years later.
Yeah, that's a interesting one. People still playing that first one?
I don't know.
I mean, clearly there's some audience for it.
The Long Dark. So the Long Dark, I feel, came out in early. Yeah, it was one of the first game preview games back on Xbox One.
Yeah. Yeah, I was gonna say, I feel like I remember that being somewhere.
Yeah, it was there, and it was on Game Pass for a very long time. It might still be on Game Pass, honestly.
Yeah, it might be.
I kind of feel like it's just been there repeatedly. 6th and final DLC installment was just released on December 2nd.
Oh, jeez.
Okay. Yeah, they were doing DLC for forever. They didn't do paid expansion content until October 2022, and it did not go out into. It didn't go into full release until like 2017, I think. Anyways, I kind of forgot about this game. Like,
yeah.
Supposedly episode 5 still isn't out on this, so I don't know. That's something to keep an eye on. It doesn't really tickle my fancy, but I know a bunch of people are really excited. Borderlands 4, Corey. Are you excited for Borderlands 4?
It looks just like Borderlands 3.
And 2,
with pod racing.
And, well, not necessarily 1, but...
there's some pod racing in there, I'll tell you that. They did show some sort of pod racer thing.
I think this is going to be fun. I haven't gotten to watch the trailer yet. Yeah. I think this is still going to be fun.
No, I think I just think people who are knowledgeable at the industry think Randy Pitchford's just an interesting character.
A fucking creep.
but the games, people love the games, so I mean,
Yeah,
you can't
Borderlands is very well received. Like when it comes to looter shooters, I still don't know if anybody does it better.
Yeah, I mean, look, Borderlands is
Like I love Destiny, but the loot aspect lacks.
You don't say.
I think Borderlands is too far in the other direction.
Yeah, there's no happy medium. It's fine, man.
Yeah, it is what it is. Astrobot's cleaning up tonight, man. I think Astrobot may end up winning Game of the Year.
Yeah.
At the rate we're going. Okay, best RPG. Come on. It's got to be Metaphor.
It's either Metaphor or Final Fantasy.
It's going to be Elden Ring. Metaphor! Let's fucking go!
Josh is quite excited, everybody. Content Creator of the Year. I hope it's...
I don't know who any of these people are. I genuinely have no idea who these people are.
I hope it's Techno Gamers with a Z.
I am legitimately just so thrilled that Metaphor has won a few awards at this point.
Yeah.
It does feel like it's coming down to Metaphor and Astrobot for Game of the Year, though.
Mm-hmm.
Which is perfectly fine because they're both exceptional games.
Mm-hmm.
Other announcements that have come out. Let me get over here real fast. RGG, I said this a little bit ago. RGG has revealed Project Century. Yeah. RGG, of course, is the studio behind Yakuza, and it looks like they are doing a brand new action game set in 1915.
Mm-hmm.
This looks really, really, really cool.
Yeah,
it looked like that was actual gameplay we were seeing, and it looked awesome.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see Japanese developers kind of embrace that pre-World War II Japan, right? I mean, that's something they don't really like to talk about.
With good reason.
Yeah.
And this is in 1915. I think it would be a little more sketchy if it was like the 1920s and 30s.
Yeah.
But 1915, yeah. I expect this to be like a super duper prequel to Yakuza or something. I don't know. But this is really interesting. I think RGG is one of the unsung swans of the industry.
Oh, the Muppets! It's the old guys. Yeah,
I do love Stotler and Wardoff. I do love them. I'm a very big Corey and I love the Muppets, guys.
Yeah,
we love the Muppets. Save Muppet Vision 3D.
Save Muppet Vision. # Save Muppet Vision.
I was saying that in another chat I was in earlier. Ray was like, my friend Ray was like, "Hey, I love that the Muppets are there." I was like, "Dude, I love the Muppets too. Where's Waldo, the 3D Muppet?"
Yeah, where's Waldo?
Dude, we just need it. They're apparently roasting Hideo Kojima right now, so good for them. Moving right along, that's a Muppet reference for all of you. The Illuminate are the next faction in Helldivers 2, the new one. Shows off the arrival of the Illuminate faction, urban city maps, APC vehicles, and it is called the Omens of Tyranny update, and it is going live today.
Yeah.
By the time you're listening to this, it is live.
Mm-hmm.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's it. Very reminiscent of when they did the God of War Ragnarok update. Was that last year?
Yeah.
Very reminiscent of when they did that.
Yeah.
So,
you know what's cool, Josh, is Helldivers 2 combat scenario writer presenting a Bossy.
Yes.
Already recorded with him yesterday. So he's actually at the Game Awards right now.
So. It is it's something. Oh my god, we're shooting clowns in this video.
Oh.
Yikes.
This is what is this? Why is Post Malone in this?
Oh, this is Hunt Showdown, I think.
Oh
yeah, Hunt Showdown presents Post Malone's Murder Circus.
Mm.
Yeah, no, I'm good.
Okay. Neat. Okay. I don't need another game with scary clowns, man.
Yeah, I don't need clowns. I'm good.
Yeah.
What else? Virtua Fighter is back, Corey.
I know, I saw that.
I'm so excited. So Virtua Fighter, I'm not a huge fighting game guy. I like the occasional Smash Brothers game, but I'm not good at fighting games.
Yeah.
I'm a button masher. I'm not good at these games. I have a very soft spot for Virtua Fighter, though, in my heart. Virtua Fighter was one of the only fighter games, like aside from Marvel vs. Capcom, that I liked as a kid.
Mm-hmm.
It was a traditional, like, arcade style fighter. I still really love playing Virtua Fighter when we go to the Cidercade around here.
Mm-hmm.
So for them to be bringing that back is really exciting for me.
Yeah.
That is, I believe that's the first footage that we've seen from any of the Sega reboots.
Yeah.
The first officially released footage.
Mm-hmm.
And they're doing a direct on it today.
Yeah.
In like a couple of hours or something. So it's in the middle of the afternoon Japanese time.
Yeah.
But that is so cool. I'm so excited. Virtua Fighter coming back is just so needed.
Yeah. I'm interested to see what they do to kind of take on, like Tekken and the modern fighting scene, because
I always felt like Virtua Fighter was a little bit more arcadey than those.
Yeah.
So that's what I like. And I mean, Mortal Kombat 1 was a dud.
Yeah.
I am curious to see what happens there. I think that could be having the potential for a lot of fun, at least.
Mm-hmm. I feel like, I know that WB was kind of like, are we going to sell our game division? Or are we not? But I feel like they could have done a more interesting job of putting maybe Injustice before another Mortal Kombat or something,
oh God, Squid Game.
Come on. Aren't
So
they
tired
making
of-
aren't
so
they making
tired
a
of
Squid game of some sort? I don't need this. Come on.
I'm very excited about Onimusha coming back, though.
I know, dude. Onimusha, I'm
Onimusha is, when I think of like the PS2 era, that is one of the like most forgotten about franchises, I feel.
Yeah. I'm really concerned about this Squid Games thing.
Yeah, I'm so over Squid Game. I didn't even watch Squid Game, and I'm over it.
I didn't either. A Netflix game. Oh, right. I forgot Netflix does games now.
Yeah. Yeah, Onimusha. God, that could be so good. It's been so long since we got an Onimusha game, too.
Yeah, it looks like they're taking that Neo formula.
Yeah. That could be really good. 2026, though. A little bit bummed that it's that far out.
Yeah, but that could be like a January, February.
Yeah, I almost wonder if they're announcing. So there was a story that came out this week from Jason Schreier about not Call of Duty, about Grand Theft Auto 6.
Mm-hmm.
So many sixes in my life. Saying that basically publishers are kind of freaking out because they don't know when GTA 6 is going to drop.
Mm-hmm.
They're making plans to delay their games into first quarter, second quarter of 2026. If it comes out in 2025, and if it doesn't, they're making plans to move games up into fall 25.
Mm-hmm.
Which is kind of I feel like that's what's going to happen. Oh, hey, Snoop Dogg's on stage. I love Snoop.
He's everywhere, dude.
He really is.
Snoop Dogg.
I love Snoop Dogg.
Oh
Dying Light, The Beast. Does this do anything for you?
It does nothing.
It does nothing. It doesn't. Man, talk about a franchise that I just do not care about.
Yeah.
And I mean that in the nicest way possible. I just do not give a shit.
It's not my type of game, but like,
Nope.
I feel like that first game also was like, it had such a long tail and people loved it. And then the second one just kind of didn't do anything. It kind of just fizzled out.
I don't understand the love for the first one. I'm going to be totally honest. I tried playing the first one a couple of times and I just couldn't get into it. And there were other people like David Hatfield, I think, was one of the ones who was like, hey, this game fucks.
Yeah.
And I just never understood it. Part of that was I played it before it came out. And my very first trip to PAX, it was at PAX South the first year I went, a couple months before it came out. And it played terribly.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even know if it was a couple months before. It may have been a couple weeks before.
Mm-hmm.
But it played terribly.
Yeah.
And I tried going back to it when it came out, like once the Ultimate Edition was out or something. Never got into it. I remember when they showed off Dying Light 2 and everyone was like, oh my God, Dying Light 2 looks so good. And then it got delayed for years. Remember that?
Mm-hmm.
They started becoming a joke that we were seeing it at every single Xbox show. And because Xbox had no exclusives, it kept getting like these premiere slots at it. And then Dying Light 2 came out and I just gonna be honest, I never heard anybody talk about this game. it was the most it came out and got forgotten right away game that I can ever remember.
Yeah.
So great. Dying Light the Beast. Oh boy.
Right.
It does nothing. That genuinely
no.
just does absolutely nothing for
It's
me.
Dying Light with superpowers now, right? That's kind of what I got from that trailer. It seems like he's like in some gas chamber that gives him superpowers or something. I don't know, or really care. Oh well, it's fine. Oh man, Helldivers 2 wins best ongoing game.
Yeah, I've expressed this. You and I have talked about this recently, as we kind of assemble the Bossy show about best ongoing game. I have a problem with nominating a game that just came out that year for best ongoing.
Yeah, we actually removed Helldivers 2 from that category because it hasn't been out long enough to be that.
I mean, like, for me, it's also like I think you need to have like a couple major, like a major update or an expansion of some kind beforehand, or like seasonal content, not just, oh, here's War Bonds and you're still doing the same thing you were doing 10 months ago.
Yeah.
So I realize how ironic that is to say that on the night that they released their first big drop. But that's what I've been waiting for. I've been waiting for that so that I can go download it and come back. I'm very into it. The new gameplay for it looks really cool. I don't know.
Yeah.
Cool. It's finally a successful online game.
Yeah.
For Sony, and I could not be happier.
Yeah, I'm glad Helldivers 2 turned out to be the way it was, especially now after Concord, right? I mean, just glad that there's success in there.
Fucking Concord, dude.
Yeah.
We had a couple other announcements before the stream of big ones. Slay the Spire 2 got a brand new trailer.
Yeah.
Doesn't do a lot for me. I have a lot of friends who are really excited for this too, though. So I may play this. It's going to go out sometime in 2025 in early access.
Mm-hmm.
Same with Solasta 2. If you do not play Solasta 1, it was an RPG that is very, very D&D inspired. It actually uses the rule set from 5e. Somebody in the chat that I was in was like, oh, look, they're just riding a Baldur's Gate hype train. And I was like, Solasta 1 came out like 4 years before Baldur's Gate 3, right? And that ended that conversation.
I love when people like say something and then they're clearly wrong and then somebody corrects them and then they just disappear. It's so good.
Oh boy. So I got really excited earlier today when I saw the Sifu team was going to announce a new game.
It's a soccer game.
I was very unexcited once I saw that it was it was basically Soccer Rocket League.
Yeah.
No, I'm good.
It's a choice.
I just can't believe that you saw the success of Sifu and thought that this was the solution to follow it up.
Look, it was a choice.
It's one of the choices of all time. I am all for make the kind of games that you want to play, but holy shit.
Yep.
Go play EA FC or something at that point. Because this ain't doing anything for me.
Yep,
I'm gonna be honest.
This ain't it.
This is absolutely not it.
Yep.
And that's okay.
Yep.
That is A-okay. Core Keeper developer just announced a new game. Funny enough, that game just came out of early access like a month or two ago. For Kiora, I think that's how you pronounce it. Very Terraria feeling. When you look at this, I don't know. Games like that don't do it for me. Tales of the Shire comes out March 25th, 2025.
Is that going to be your Disney Dreamlight Valley, Josh?
I think it might be my Disney Dreamlight Valley, Corey. Very excited for this. Very, very excited.
Storybook Vale. It's happening.
Hello Games is currently on stage. Or excuse me, Hello Games is not on stage. I'm thinking something else. I believe this is Game of Thrones. We have Game of Thrones game from HBO and Warner Brothers.
Finally. Kind of, I don't know, kind of late to the party, aren't they? I feel like, unless this is some sort of like prequel or side story or something, which I guess you would
Yeah, I
assume it
feel
would be.
like it is. I'm not listening to it with any sort of audio, but nope, it is. It definitely happens during.
Oh, nope, that's Jon Snow.
That's Jon Snow. That's Jon fucking Snow. This looks really cool. I hope that it's good. I obviously have my extreme doubts.
Yeah, it looks like God of War a little bit, like combat. Um, so I guess we'll find out. I guess we'll see. Hey, look, a dragon.
Yeah, a lot of people in another chat are like, "Hey, is this a mobile game?"
Yeah,
And that is my actual fear right now, is that it's going to be a mobile game.
dang.
I'm almost expecting a mobile reveal at this point.
I don't know. Is that what it
But
is?
I am interested in this. If it's not a mobile game, I am infinitely more interested than I am if it's a mobile game.
Hmm. Hmm.
I really love the Thrones universe, so I would like to see more stories set.
Do you think this is that Jon Snow show sequel that they canceled? They're just making it a game. You think they
No,
reworked it into a game?
yeah, this
Oh,
very
is this?
clearly takes place during the
You
series.
think this will be like a
Game
Shadow of
of Thrones
Mordor?
King's Road. Oh, this is definitely a mobile game.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, Netmarble. Yeah. Dang.
Yeah, damn. I'm actually like really bummed about that. I was so
Dang. I was
excited.
like, man, Game of Thrones would be perfect for the Nemesis system they tried to use for Lord of the Rings. You know?
Yeah.
Dang. Man, they missed. Big whiff on that. What can you do though?
Apparently not use amazing tech that you patented.
Um It is Warner Brothers. It is Warner Discovery. They are, amazing at handling the IP they own. So,
Thick as Thieves got announced. This is the next game from Warren Spector, who, if you don't know Warren Spector, he made Deus Ex.
Oh.
This did not do it for me.
And Epic Mickey. I forgot the
This
most.
did not do it for me, Corey. I don't know if that surprises you or not.
I mean, it doesn't really surprise me.
This, oh man, I don't know how I feel about this. This looks bad.
It's
This does not look good. Like, the only thing that he's really done has been Epic Mickey in the last like couple of years, or the
yeah,
last like 15 years.
yeah. I don't know.
He's doing System Shock 3 currently, I believe.
Yeah, and he was also advising on the remake of the first
Yes.
one or the second one. One of the remakes.
Yes.
Night Dive did that remake of the first one, right? Was that Night Dive or
I
was that
don't know
Phoenix?
about that.
I don't remember.
I
Maybe
genuinely don't know. This is very clear. We're clearly in the mobile games section.
yeah.
So I'm trying to see what this fighting game is. Double Dragon. Hey, that's cool.
Great.
Double Dragon comes out next October
Oh shit.
23rd, and pre-orders are open today.
Dang. Okay. Is it a fighting
Yeah,
game or is it a real Double Dragon game?
it's a fighting game,
Oh.
and it's coming to console, so it is not a mobile game. So
All right.
that should be encouraging to all of us. I think.
Cool. I hope it's better than whatever the last one that came out was. What was it? Neon? Was that the last one?
I don't remember.
Way
I
for-
haven't thought about Double Dragon in probably like 10 years,
Way
to be
Forward did
just
that.
completely abundantly honest.
Yeah, that's fair. Oh, wide anime eyes. What is this, Josh?
I believe this is Solo Leveling,
Oh,
which I'm very excited about. Solo Leveling, an anime that I definitely forgot to list for best anime for the Bossies.
it's still time, Josh. If you want to add it,
God, Solo Leveling is so good.
man. This looks intense.
Yeah, I need to see actual gameplay before I get too excited, though.
Yeah,
That's the thing.
yeah. Well, it's happening. It's quite. It got a cool art style though.
I really hope this is good. Solo leveling is a really. Oh God, it's another mobile game. Oh, this one's coming to Steam too.
Sorry, Josh. Big failure. Mobile games.
Mobile games.
Sorry, Josh.
It is what it is. I like to think that I'm a little more receptive to mobile games than the average gamer is. I mean, I really like playing puzzle games on my phone, especially.
Yeah.
But I don't love playing full games on my phone just
fair.
yet. Destiny Rising was a step in the right direction for me.
Yeah.
It's hard for me to reconcile the idea of wanting to sit down and play a game on my phone when I could just go play on my console or my PC instead.
Yeah.
The PC I don't have.
That's fair.
But what else? We had a couple other smaller games announced that I'm really excited. Dave the Diver is getting another DLC, the In the Jungle DLC, coming late 2025.
Ooh.
Dave the Diver, great game if you have not played that. I believe it might still be on PS Plus.
Yeah, I think it's on PS Plus.
Check it out. They did a Godzilla DLC that was really cool.
Ooh, Naughty Dog.
Oh shit, Naughty Dog time.
Oh, that's Joel.
Yep, we're holding up for this. We're holding up for Naughty Dog. If this is just Last of Us 3, I'm gonna be bummed.
Well, they showed Joel, so what would Joel be? Is this a prequel? I don't know, man. Or is this
coming to PC?
Oh, okay. Dang, Josh. I saw the PlayStation logo and I saw Naughty Dog. Thought maybe it was time. April 3rd, PC.
I did too. I really hope that this is just them debating us.
Like leading into their next game? Like this is what they're leading with? Like a... Yeah, I mean, Could be, Josh.
God. Oh. You gotta think that they're announcing something.
I think that, yeah. Well, they're handing out an award. Isn't that the girl that's playing, Dina in part 2?
I have no idea, honestly.
In the show, the HBO show? Yeah,
I'm not sure. So I'm gonna say a really unpopular gaming opinion. I've gotten really disillusioned with The Last of Us.
Yeah,
I think the first game was an absolute masterpiece. I really liked the first game when it came out. It came out at a perfect time in my life.
Mm-hmm.
Was 21 when it released. I remember that I did not own a PS3 at all ever. But it came out, and a friend of mine was living with somebody. He was renting a room from them for the summer. He took 2 days off work, 2 or 3 days off work to do nothing but play The Last of Us. And he called me. He's like, dude, this is like the best game I've ever played. You have to play this. So when he went back to work, he was working as an intern that summer. I went over, borrowed his PS3 and played it. And I was like, oh my God, this is one of the best games I've ever played. I bought a PS4 a year after it came out just to get the bundle that came with The Last of Us. It came with The Last of Us. It came with GTA 5. I bought it. I got 2 of the best games of all time. It was great.
Yeah, smart.
My problem with The Last of Us comes with how much it's been crammed down our throat for just 2 games.
Yeah.
We have had... The first game has been re-released twice since it came out.
Mm-hmm.
It has gotten an adaptation now.
Yep.
The second game came out, has already gotten a remaster, is now getting a re-release on PC, and we've already gotten the re-release of the first one on PC. This one's now coming to PC as well. Don't know why you couldn't have just done this at the same time last year. Yeah. This really feels like an excuse for us to just keep talking about it, though. And I think that's what bugs me the most about it. It's not that they are not good games. For the record, I have not played Part 2 yet. Part 2 came out at a very bad time in my life when I did not have a PlayStation 4, and also, I've just never gone back to it.
Also, COVID.
I've seen a playthrough of the entire game. I know exactly what happens. I watched plenty of people stream it the year it came out because it came out during COVID.
Yeah,
and I did not have the money to go buy a console at the time. Hey, Fallout! Yeah. Fallout won Best Adaptation.
Yeah. But yeah, that's not surprising. I'm not surprised at all, honestly. I mean, I thought maybe Arcane might have been the other, but yeah, this doesn't surprise me at all. So she's there's been rumors floating around that she's going to play Rogue in the X-Men reboot.
Ella Purnell?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't see it, but they've been floating around out there. Of course, it's the internet, so you never know. Probably wrong. But I don't know, man. I just think that I don't want to get into X-Men talk right now, Josh. It's gonna hurt my brain. I'm just gonna be really upset. It's fine.
Yeah, I don't know. I think that's cool. We're gonna get into some awards here in just a minute. I feel like we're coming to the end of reveals.
Yeah,
we've got about 20 minutes left in the show. I think they're gonna bang it, and these are gonna get actual speeches. Which I want to get to some critique of the Game Awards here in a minute, but something that I was really prepared to go in on them on, and I'm cautiously halting my criticism, is that Jeff Keighley gave out an award tonight. And it was the Game Changer. It's the first time they've ever given this out, the first ever Game Changer award, which I think it's kind of reminiscent of when they used to do Global Gaming Citizen, I think. I like this better than Content Creator of the Year or something, because this actually is somebody who is making a massive difference.
Yeah, it's a meaningful award.
It is a very meaningful award. So Amir Savat got the first ever Game Changers award from the Game Awards for helping people find jobs in the game industry through his resources. I had a link sent to me by a good friend of mine that I'm pulling up on my phone right now. It is Amir's website, and it is just it is so expertly made. It's very Dave the Diver inspired, which I really like. It's one of the more creative ones that I've ever seen. But some of the resources that he has on here: hiring visibility, support postings, network support, career planning, perks, role listings. He has a comprehensive guide. It's a one-page guide about what his community is all about. Links to his socials. His tagline is "We help gamers get hired." Brags that he's the #1 Google search result for game jobs resources. But yeah, just man, I've heard about Amir in the past. I haven't really looked into him too much. Awesome to see this. I would rather this go to somebody like Amir than somebody who is like making reactionary content or streaming. Like, I feel like we've grown beyond that. This is something that if he were still with us, I feel like Total Biscuit would have been up for.
Yeah.
I think that people who, and oh God, who was the one last year? There was one that was nominated last year that I don't think won for Content Creator, and they would have cleaned up in this. They were exposing a lot of the firings in the industry at smaller studios, especially.
Yeah.
We Make Games. Is that what it was? Maybe.
Was it maybe?
I'm looking it up real quick because it's going to really bother me if I got this wrong. I want to make sure that I do this. People Make Games. People Make Games is what I was thinking. Which I don't know. Oh God, that was weird. People Make Games was an investigative video, or is an investigative video game journalism YouTube channel that reports on crunch, outsourcing, and exploitation. Specifically, they have reported on Roblox, Annapurna Interactive, CSGO's skin gambling controversy, and VR chat in the metaverse. Those are just some really quick highlights on the Wikipedia page. They had the report about Robin Hanunki, who was over at Funamina. If you know what I'm talking about, you're probably in too deep on games Twitter. I'm going to put it that way. But that was a big thing. I remember I'm literally on vacation and I'm sitting there reading this like poolside. I'm sitting there watching this and like pulling out my AirPods to be able to listen to this report. They're great. People Make Games is great. But this is about Amir. Again, this is an award that I hope they don't hand out every year unless they have somebody worthy to give it to. Like, I swear to fucking God, if I see Hideo Kojima get this award, I might actually scream. I might actually lose my proverbial shit.
Yeah. 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 He will someday. You know he will.
Someday. Oh boy! Genshin Impact!
Is
I
it?
actually don't know if this is Genshin. This is just a game
It could
from
be
Hoyoverse.
the Withering Winds or whatever the other one is.
Oh, yeah, I don't care about this. Just to just be totally blunt with everybody. Back to him here. VentureBeat, GamesBeat, actually, I guess I should say, has a really, really awesome profile on him up that I got right as we were hopping on. That I've briefly scanned and read. He has helped more than 3,000 people find jobs in the last 2.5 years.
Mm-hmm.
Before that, the first time he was interviewed back in August 2023 for GameSpeak by Dean Takashi, he had helped more than 450 people find jobs through his do-it-yourself job listing service and resources on LinkedIn. Now he has helped nearly 3,000 people in the last 2.5 years.
That's amazing.
That is amazing. There have been 34,000 layoffs. An 11th of the people laid off have gotten jobs through his resources.
That's amazing.
That's awesome. That is fucking awesome. I don't care who you are. That is awesome. This is how we retain talent in this industry, is by people helping each other.
Mm-hmm.
But he is just awesome. He said in an earlier interview, I felt so bad because layoffs were happening before Thanksgiving. This is the big meta layoffs a few years ago, and it was really it was right before the heavy layoffs came. We were sitting down for Thanksgiving dinner, and I started hearing about my friends getting laid off, and I said this was unacceptable to my wife, and that was kind of the genesis of the idea. We see the numbers, and it's tempting sometimes to forget that it's real people. Eventually, as the numbers get bigger and bigger, you can't stop paying attention. My friends wished for something that made it easy to browse for jobs, and I thought, I'm pretty good at Excel macros and web scraping. I could write something that does that. Now, Savat has provided so much data about the gaming industry aggregated from people who have shared their job search efforts with him. He broke into games himself in his late 30s, and by that time, he had real skills with data. He started his community with one resource. Has tens of thousands of job listings.
Yeah.
Man, that is just outstanding. It's outstanding. It is a really great profile. I encourage everybody to read about this. Genuinely somebody who is making a massive, massive, massive difference.
Yeah.
In this world, in this industry.
Yeah. Yeah, he's doing great work. I am so glad that this is an award this year and that it's meaningful and that people are finding jobs because of him. So sorry, I was distracted by Snoop Dogg rapping at the Game Awards. It was not on my bingo card tonight. Okay. Man.
Okay. All right. I'm going to pull up the awards list and we'll start going through some of these.
Yeah, let's go through these awards. Some big ones. Man, Snoop Dogg, man. He's just... He's just everywhere. I don't understand. He's just everywhere.
I'm waiting. This list is not updated for me yet, and it's really annoying. I'm going to go to a different list because this one's clearly not updating in real time anymore.
Is Wario 64's feed doing the thing?
No, I'm not going to that. I just pulled up the wiki list. I think we've only got a couple of awards left at this point, so let's go ahead and start with the ones that I definitely can pull up right now. Best performance. We had Milena Juergens nominated, Brianna White, who plays Aerith in Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, Hannah Telle is Max in Life is Strange, Humberly Gonzalez as Kay Vess in Star Wars Outlaws, and Luke Roberts as James in Silent Hill 2. Milena won this. We love Milena Juergens here.
Mm-hmm. Big fan.
Hellblade is not remotely as good without her.
No. I don't know if Hellblade is Hellblade without her. I'm going to be honest. I couldn't imagine anybody else.
I can't imagine it without her. She brings so much to that, and like
Yeah.
they said when they did the sequel, like they consulted her on the writing for it.
Yeah. Isn't that so crazy that she was a trailer editor for Ninja Theory, and she just was a stand-in until they could find a
Yeah,
quote unquote real actor, and she just was so good that they left her in there. That's so crazy. It's such a great story.
yeah. Speaking of great stories, games for impact, one of my favorite categories every year. You had Closer the Distance, Indica, Neva, Life is Strange, Senua's Saga, and Tales of Kenzara nominated. Neva won this. I know you're a big fan of Neva.
I was a big fan of Gree too, their previous game.
Uh,
Beautiful game. It tells an amazing story without saying anything. So it's really good. Highly recommended.
Best debut indie. This one should come as absolutely no surprise to who won, but your nominees were Animal Well, Balatro, Manor Lords, Pacific Drive, and Plucky Squire. Funny enough, Manor Lords was mentioned by. Is that the one that was mentioned by Jeff Gardner in our interview with him?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
If he had to pick at that point, that would be the game he's enjoyed the most this year.
Yeah.
Balatro won this, which should come as no surprise, but I really want to shout out Animal Well here.
Yeah, I think if Balatro wasn't here, Animal Well would have won by a landslide.
Animal Well would have cleaned the fuck up here.
Yeah.
And that is not to say anything about Balatro. Balatro was up for Game of the Year for a reason. I actually thought Animal Well was going to make the Game of the Year list too, to be frank.
Yeah, I did too. We interviewed Billy Basso.
Yes, great interview. Stephanie did that one, right?
We both did. Yeah,
you both did.
Yeah.
Sorry, I like Stephanie better.
Who doesn't at this point? Let's be honest.
I'm just fucking with you. Best ongoing game: Destiny 2: The Final Shape, Diablo 4: Vessel of Hatred, Final Fantasy 14: Dawn Trail, Fortnite, and Helldivers 2. And this was Helldivers 2, which should come as no surprise to anybody.
Yeah.
I think it was pretty far above the others for this year.
Yeah, I mean, Final Shape was amazing, but a lot of the things that came afterwards were pretty.
Yep, it marred it.
Subpar. I think Bungie knows that, right? And I think,
yeah,
but also
they were kind of acknowledging that in a blog post yesterday too.
Yeah, and they've they've been going through some major changes, to say the least, in the last, I don't know, year. So, yeah. I mean, we've talked enough about that on Tower Casuals, though.
We have, and we're gonna have to talk about it more next week because yesterday's article was actually really good. Best community support. Again, this one should come as no surprise to anybody, but all the nominees are so good here. Baldur's Gate 3, Final Fantasy 14, Fortnite, Helldivers 2, No Man's Sky. I don't think you can go wrong with any of those, but Baldur's Gate 3 ran away with this one. Should not surprise anybody. Just, God, Larian is gods among men. Gods among men.
They are great.
Best action game went to Black Myth Wukong. Your other nominees were Black Ops 6, Helldivers 2, Stellar Blade, and Space Marine 2. Gotta be honest, I was a little surprised Black Myth Wukong got this. I don't think Wukong is necessarily bad, but I don't know a single person who has this in their top 10. Whereas a lot of people I've talked to have some combination of the remaining games in their top 10.
Yeah, I kind of feel like this was I don't want to say like a culture win, but like Black Myth Wukong is a huge deal for Chinese development.
It is. And we should not lose sight of that.
Yeah. And I think a lot of people I feel like this game was very divided in that people were expecting like a Souls-like game, but it's just like a really hard action game. And I think the people who are expecting Souls games were kind of disappointed, and then the people who were not kind of felt a different way about it. So I don't know. I could see it going both ways, but yes, I agree. I think there are other games in this category that, what you said already. So
yeah, if I had to look at this and say that I had to give this award to somebody, I actually would probably go Stellar Blade here.
Yeah.
I would say Stellar Blade. I have not played Space Marine 2. I want to be really clear. I have heard nothing but incredible games about Space Marine 2.
I know.
But I don't think you were ever going to see a Warhammer game win this. Right. Sadly.
I do think that first Space Marine game, though, on 360 was awesome.
This one is apparently just as good, if not better. I have talked to 2 people personally who have this as their game of the year.
Yeah, that game was awesome.
Who play a lot of different styles of games. So that surprised me a little bit to hear that. I'm going to be honest. Action adventure game. This was a pretty stacked category. You had Astrobot, you had Zelda Echoes of Wisdom, Prince of Persia: The Lost Crown, Silent Hill 2, and Star Wars Outlaws. It's Astrobot. Like, are we really surprised here? Astrobot also won Best Family Game for the record, which, I mean, Astrobot's awesome, so give it all the awards.
Yeah.
Just, Game of the Year needs to go to Metaphor. Best role playing game, of course. This is probably the most stacked category.
Yeah.
Listen to this nominations list: Dragon's Dogma 2, Elden Ring: Shadow of the Erdtree, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, Like a Dragon: Infinite Wealth, and Metaphor ReFantazio, which was the winner, by the way.
That's quite the.
You had so many nominees here that Persona 3 Reload doesn't make this list.
Yeah.
Which is arguably like a top 5 game of the year. That is insane to me. And then not even in a bad way. It just shows you how good this year was. Although, like, if we're really talking like DLCs, like Erdtree normally gets the boot here and Persona takes that spot, I think.
Mm-hmm.
But best fighting game goes to Tekken 8. No surprise there. You look at the rest of those and I'm like, oh, Jesus Christ.
Yeah. I haven't even heard of half the games.
I've heard of them, but I think, funny enough, I think Grand Blue was maybe the only like real competitor there.
Yeah.
What game just won for score and music? I don't have my sound on.
Score and music looks
I think
like.
Did Stellar Blade win it?
Stellar
Blade.
Final. Is it?
Is it?
I think it's Final Fantasy.
Is it Final Fantasy? They need to fucking tell me on the screen.
Well, I saw the words Final Fantasy pop up in the closed captions, so.
Oh, I don't have the captions on. That would probably help. I'll turn on the captions. Yep, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. It deserved it. It's just, it was really good.
Yeah. Not surprising. So, congratulations to Final Fantasy Rebirth. Man, that game. I'm shocked at how like receptive people have been of the changes to that storyline that they've made.
I think it helps that it's basically a brand new game. Like there's changes to it, but they make it like if you played it, you know why they did what they did. It is explicitly a brand new timeline, essentially.
Yeah.
And I think that was necessary if you were going to go change or even try to adapt one of the most beloved stories of all time.
Yeah.
Very excited. Very excited for them. Best simulation game went to Frostpunk 2. No surprise there. I was kind of hoping Unicorn Overlord would sneak in and steal this.
Yeah.
I thought Manor Lords had a pretty good chance too, but Frostpunk 2 went over really, really well with people. Best multiplayer game with the Helldivers 2 should be no surprise.
Yeah.
Best adaptation. This one surprised me a little bit. This was a two horse race between Arcane and Fallout for me. Fallout won. I'm really surprised that Fallout won this. I thought for sure Arcane had this in the bag.
I thought it was going to be Fallout or Arcane. I actually felt like Fallout it's more appealing to more people, I think.
I think part of the reason that I thought, I do agree with that, but Arcane just came out and it had so much hype behind it. Now, part of what may have hurt them is maybe the whole season wasn't eligible.
Maybe.
Because they released it in 3 chunks over the course of November. Yeah. So maybe this is a way to get Arcane nominated again next year. Although, I mean, Last of Us is going to run away with it next year. Let's be honest.
Yeah, but usually reviewers get the whole season in advance when it's streaming.
They were really weird about this one, though.
Were they?
Yeah, they were really weird about this one. They've been getting weirder about shows. They're not giving them all out at once anymore. Like, you'll see a review for a season, and then when you read into the review, you're like, oh, it's just for the first 2 episodes. Yeah. Like, that happened with Dune Prophecy and Penguin both. So, and Arcane got distributed very, very strangely. People were saying that they were getting it in full blocks. Like, they weren't able to view it until it aired and stuff.
Interesting. Okay.
What do we got here? A car game. Is this Lightning McQueen? No, it's not Lightning McQueen. It's Shadow the Hedgehog.
Oh my gosh, really?
Yep.
Is this another Team Sonic Racing? Team Shadow Racing? Is that what this is?
Sonic Racing Cross Worlds.
God, come on. Is this a
I'm
mobile
so
game?
happy that we're about to present Game of the Year, and this is being shown right now.
Nope, it's a real game.
Did we even need that? What was that? What the fuck was that, Jeff?
Oh my god, Jeff, come on.
I have friends freaking out in another chat, being like, "Dear God, please just get this over with."
Oh my gosh. He's hiding up in the balcony, so stage creepers won't come.
So
up
people
there
don't throw shit at him. I would too. Mafia: The Old Country. Okay.
Oh, is that what this is?
Yeah, we knew that was coming.
Yeah.
Okay, so I can go back to going through some of these nominees. Most anticipated game, Grand Theft Auto 6 won this. Again, should be no surprise. But for the record, the other nominees were Death Stranding 2, okay, Ghost of Yote, Metroid Prime 4, and Monster Hunter Wilds. Feel like you could have given it to anything short of Death Stranding 2, and I wouldn't have been surprised.
Yeah.
But GTA 6, it's really hard to argue with that.
Yeah. Oh, Monster Hunter, though. I mean, people are stoked for Monster Hunter.
Monster Hunter's going to be huge.
Dude, that thing's going to be massive.
It's going to be massive. Absolutely massive. I'm trying to find other awards that I've missed here because I started scrolling down. Best art direction went to Metaphor ReFantazio.
Deserved. I think that art style is
very, very deserved. The nominees were Astrobot, Black Myth Wukong, Elden Ring, Shadow of the Erdtree, Neva, and Metaphor. Metaphor kind of runs away with that for me. Sorry.
Wow.
I think Elden Ring is very well designed, but like it got these awards 2 years ago. Yeah.
Yep.
And I think that a lot of people are like kind of understanding that too. Like, yeah, no, this had to be done. Best game direction has already come out. This one always throws me off because I think it's really hard to give something best game direction and not give it Game of the Year.
Yeah.
Because it's the exact same nominees in both.
Yeah.
Astrobot, Balatro, Black Myth Wukong, Shadow of the Erdtree, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, and Metaphor ReFantazio. Astrobot wins that. Again, should not be a huge surprise. My personal bias, I would be giving this to Metaphor or Final Fantasy personally. I think Final Fantasy VII had an impossible task and conquered it. It's not my favorite game, but it might be the best directed game of the year. Yeah. And I think those two awards need to be separate. I don't like that it usually gets handed to both. I think it's kind of a cop out. As for Game of the Year, I mean, the only two I think I'd be truly surprised on at this point would be Shadow of the Erdtree or Black Myth Wukong. I think the other four are all very more than deserving.
You don't think Shadow of the Erdtree is the chew-in because it's there?
I don't think so because it's been shut out tonight. Which absolutely shocks me.
I wonder if people... I mean, I know it's nominated, but like, I wonder if people
just won kind of something, and I don't know what it was.
It's Player's Voice?
No, it didn't win Player's Voice.
It's the one before this.
Player's Voice was Black Myth Wukong. God. Yeah, whatever one was before this, Balatro won. I need to really turn on my sound. And I don't have it on because everything's so fucking loud.
Yeah.
And I can't think.
Here's a look at Infinity Nikki. It's already out. Shocking.
Oh, I'm so glad I turned on my sound for this.
Yeah. Well. Oh, boy. Infinity Nikki, everybody.
Anime doll dress my belief is Balatro probably just won Best Independent Game. That's the only other one I can think of. Or Best Mobile Game. It may have won Best Mobile also. Those are the two that it was still up for.
People are really into this Infinity Nikki.
Oh, it's won both. It won both. I'm sorry. It won both. I believe the only ones that we have remaining are Game of the Year and Best Narrative. So this ought to be interesting. For the record, because they're going to get to these in just a minute after Infinity Nikki is done, I'm sure. Best narrative, the nominees are Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth, Metaphor ReFantazio, Senua's Saga 2, and Silent Hill 2. I'm shocked that Hellblade got nominated for this. I don't think it had a bad narrative, but I just thought there were much deeper narrative games this year, personally.
Yeah. Plus, like, I mean, not the fudge on Hellblade 2 or anything, but like
no, I want to make that really clear. I'm not trying to take a shit on this game.
Yeah, I just feel like that story, they are kind of already told that story. This is just like the other side of it now, right? Not that it wasn't impactful. It was really impactful, but like for me at least, but like
no, it's great. Don't get me wrong. It's good.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of my score comes from I had different expectations.
Yeah.
I wanted a longer experience. I wanted to have some actual combat in this. I wanted better puzzles. And I don't feel like I got any of that. So that's part of why I think I'm so hard on it.
Yeah. No, that's fair.
Unfortunately.
Yeah. I think that's fair. So, Mafia Definitive Edition is 80% off, Josh.
Oh boy. It's Mafia 3, Corey.
No, Mafia 3 is 75% off. Oh, the whole trilogy, 75% off. Go get it, everybody.
It's so dumb.
Only
I don't think it's bad. It's just like, I love how they're like, the Xbox sale expires on the 12th. It is the 12th.
Yeah.
That's so stupid. God, can you guys like get done with this? Like, okay, so of these nominees, like, who do you pick out of those for best narrative?
What were the nominees?
Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth, Metaphor, Hellblade 2, and Silent Hill 2.
I mean, my inkling just by paying attention to everybody in the industry would be Metaphor.
For me, it's a 2-horse race.
And then
it's Metaphor or Final Fantasy for me. And I don't think it's particularly close either.
I feel like Final Fantasy is the other one also because of just the way they changed things. But, you know, I don't want to spoil anything.
I would 100% be okay with Final Fantasy VII getting it. But there have been a lot of complaints that I've seen that have started creeping up since kind of like the middle of summer that if you didn't play it right away, you start feeling this way, that the game just drags. And I don't feel that at all. The Gungaga section of that game is one of the best parts of any game I played this year, to be honest. That is something that's so brand new to this game and so alters the journey that Cloud and Tifa in particular go on. And to an extent, Aerith. It's just so good. It's so good. Man, I really, I would be okay with either of them. I mean, none of the nominees are bad here. Oh, is that Aaron Paul?
It is Aaron Paul.
And Laura Bailey. Heyo.
A Need for Speed sequel movie is coming out.
Okay, I would unironically watch it. Poor Aaron Paul. This dude has not had a great career post Breaking Bad, and he doesn't even need one.
No. Dude, he's in Breaking Bad. He will in about 20 years, right? I mean, his career will come back, and he'll be some sort of sitcom dad or something. I don't know.
Yeah, the exact reverse of Bryan Cranston's career.
Yeah.
He was pretty great. I will say when they did El Camino, which was the sequel to Breaking Bad, the sequel movie, that was really, really well done.
Yeah.
But it's getting less and less believable when we see him as Jesse Pinkman because we're supposed to believe that he's still like a 22-year-old. And Aaron Paul is like mid-40s now.
Yeah, I was going to say he's like 45 years old.
Yeah. No, not even kidding. And when they had him reprise his role in a cameo in Better Call Saul, it was just like, what the fuck?
Right. Dang.
Also, something that came in that I had not seen yet. Ninja Theory did win Best Audio Design for Hellblade.
Ooh.
So it went up against Astrobot, Black Ops 6, Final Fantasy 7, and Silent Hill 2. I don't think it comes as any surprise that it won Best Audio.
Yeah.
That should not surprise anybody, in my opinion.
Right. Yeah, no, that doesn't surprise me at all. I mean, they made such a big deal leading up to that game about the audio, right? I mean, so wear your headphones. Josh, wear your headphones when you play Hellblade.
Yeah, that is one of the very few games I think I've ever played that you have to have the best surround sound headphones you can possibly wear.
Yeah.
That
Dude, I
it's one
played
of the
that
few
game.
games I haven't wanted to play through my TV.
Yeah. I played it through headphones and a sound bar. Like, and it was, both of them were crazy experiences. Headphones are better though if you have nice ones.
Yes.
Is Aaron Paul standing like almost uncomfortably close to her? Is that a me thing?
I think it's just because he's standing so close to Laura Bailey. I honestly I understand it.
I feel like he was uncomfortably close. So I'm like,
He was, but
you know,
that's okay. I get it.
Dude, I mean, to be fair, I don't like it when people stand close to me. So,
I mean, I don't either, but it's not me.
You have to be a very special person in my life to be within a touching vicinity of me. That's all I have to say. Don't touch me.
Yeah, do not touch. I am a very like anti-touch person, and much to my partner's chagrin, I don't like anybody really touching me.
Mm-hmm.
To the point that it has actually become a very big point of contention with her mother, who is a very touchy person. I'm just like, yeah, no, I can't do this.
Yeah.
We have, and then there's going to be one final award. I'm sure that they're about to do best narrative here, but game of the year. As we said for game direction, you still have Astrobot, you have Balatro, you have Black Myth Wukong, you have Shadow of the Erdtree, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, and Metaphor. My heart says Metaphor here. My brain says it's going to be Astrobot.
Yeah, I feel like Astrobot was such a huge surprise to everybody. Plus, it was like,
it got announced and came out within like 3 months.
Yeah.
So that's always going to go over well. And it's just like, it's a non-Nintendo platformer that's actually good.
Yeah. Yeah.
Man, which is, harder than you would think.
Yeah.
Oh my god, can we hurry up and get... Okay, Sam Lake's coming out. Surely this has to be best narrative. Surely.
God, is this the last of Jeff Keighley's posse to present? Like,
I mean, but listen, we like Sam Lake. We love Sam Lake. He's not dancing this year though, which I have a problem with.
Well, it's black and went black and white. We don't know yet. We don't know what's happening.
Oh, I'm sure he might show something for Control.
Well, that multiplayer game is coming out right soon.
Yeah, well, that's what I was telling a friend of mine when he was like, "Oh, I bet Control 2 is there," and I was like, "Oh, Monkey Paw Curls," and it's just the multiplayer game again.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that'd be cool if we saw Control 2 though here. I love Control, man. Control is awesome.
It would be cool. You know what else would be cool? The Max Payne remake that they've been working on for a couple of years now. I love Max Payne. That was my first exposure to Remedy.
Yeah, that was mine too.
The perfect game for a 10-year-old to be playing, but yeah.
Yeah, bullet time, man. Dude, everything was all about bullet time. It was the Matrix, it was Max Payne.
Love Alan Wake, I do love Alan Wake, but Max Payne, I love Max Payne.
Yeah.
All right, let's see who got best narrative here. God, Metaphor is so good.
Dang. It's got to be Metaphor, I feel like.
I love that they showed stuff from like the first 2 hours of the game too. That's so good. Everything else is like spoiling the shit out of the game.
Yeah. Man. Silent Hill 2 did some interesting things, but I feel like you got to be a big Silent Hill fan to know. Or like talk to somebody. What did it go to?
Metaphor.
Nice. Well deserved, I think. Well deserved. So so that there's only one award left, right?
Game of the year. I actually wonder, now that it's one RPG and narrative, does this swing it in Metaphor's favor?
Or are these the awards they win because they didn't win Game of the Year? But I mean, that doesn't necessarily mean anything. But I don't know, Josh. Guess we're about to find out, huh?
Yeah. I would urge everybody to remember that the writer and director of this game did Persona 3, 4, and 5 as well.
Yeah. Yep. So yeah, I feel like a lot of people really took to this narrative because of just it got you out of the high school setting for an Atlas game. And made it meaningful.
Yep. I mean, so if I can wax poetic on Atlas for a moment, I'm fairly new to Atlas games, but I've played now 4 of their games in the last 3 years. That's a lot. That's hundreds of hours of gaming, by the way.
It's a lot.
Persona 5 Royale, I said a couple years ago when I played it for the first time, instantly became one of the greatest games I'd ever played. Instantly became a top 5 game for me. The more I think on it, short of Breath of the Wild and Halo 2, it might be the best game I've ever played. Metaphor evoked a lot of the same emotion in me, and I love Metaphor so much because it does get you out of that high school setting. It is basically Persona in a high fantasy setting, though, and without as much emphasis on like dating or relationships. Like, that's such a huge part of Persona, is like the romance that you pick in a Persona game is huge because that has a big impact on your game and on your character. But getting rid of that and having a more tight-knit party, this is the best party in any Atlas game to me. It's the best villain. Like, Luis is instantly one of the all-time great video game villains. I told you this when we were talking about the bossy categories, that right away, Luis is up there in the conversation with Sephiroth as one of the greatest villains of all time.
Yeah.
Instantaneously. And I don't even think it's particularly close. Like, I love how menacing Sephiroth is, but Luis comes in, immediately makes his presence known. There is a scene in the game where the protagonist asks Luis a question, and he's like, well, what are you going to do about so-and-so? And before you even finish the question, Luis basically cuts you off and goes, I will kill him. And it just shows the entire party's reactions. It's just a shock. Because he's so open about, yeah, if somebody gets him, I'm just going to fucking kill him. I'm not going to play games. I'm going to fucking kill him. Yeah. And, whoa, Okami? Another Okami? What?
What?
They just announced it.
Jeez.
With a live orchestra.
With Hideki Kamiya directing.
Hideki Kamiya!
Dang. He always said he wanted to make another one. When he was at
God, I can't believe this. And he left his studio too, so
yeah.
My fucking God. So they're announcing the studio also. Production is just about to begin on the sequel. Holy fucking shit. He's
wearing the shirt. He's wearing a shirt with the logo of his studio on it.
I mean, that doesn't surprise me. CD Projekt Red had jackets covered up and then revealed them.
Yeah.
For Witcher 4 afterwards. Is this just a mashup trailer? Sorry.
I don't know. I can't tell.
No, this is a new game. Pearl Abyss.
What do we think this is?
Well, it looks like it's Souls inspired for sure.
Yeah, it's it looks cool. It's like, I always see these games and they look beautiful, and I'm just like, but like every game looks like this now.
So Pearl Abyss made Black Desert Online, and they're working on Crimson Desert.
Okay.
So I feel like this one could go one of 2 different ways. Oh, I have a friend saying that he's already played this game.
Oh, okay.
So he played it early at TwitchCon, apparently.
Oh.
But I don't know. Is this Crimson Dragon? Or whatever it's called? Is this Crimson Desert?
Might be.
I don't know. I'm going to sound like a fucking idiot for just saying this repeatedly.
I don't know.
Come on, late 20. Yeah, it is. It is.
Yeah.
Crimson Desert.
Yep.
Oh my god, another commercial. I'm so tired of this. Like, honestly, we could have cut out so many of the Fortnite trailers and the AMD and Ryzen and things like that to give people more than 40 seconds to talk. Or, present more awards on stage instead of, like, rapid firing them. It's one thing to do that, I think, for the esports categories or, like, best content creator. It's another thing to do that for, like, best RPG, best action game, and things like that.
Yeah. It's like, who doesn't know what Fortnite is at
best
this point?
audio design didn't even get its own category.
Right.
Which for me is just totally unacceptable.
Right. Like, we need another Fortnite trailer that says pew pew.
We saw, like, no kidding, we've seen like 4 or 5 of them. The Muppets are even fucking asleep. Look at this. The Muppets are asleep. We want to go to sleep. It is almost 10 o'clock Central. That's how long this thing's been going on.
Yep.
We are at the almost 3.5 hour mark since this started.
Don't worry, everybody. I promise you the Botsies will not be 4.5 hours long.
No, this is ridiculous, dude. Like, what the hell? We thought by starting when we did that we would, not have to do this. But, now we're sitting here just like vamping, being like, okay. Can we hurry up and get this over with? Like, oh my God, no. I can't believe I'm saying these words. Get the Muppets off my screen and get on with it. This is so long. Did he not hear the complaints from last year about how long the show is?
No.
Because let me tell you something. I'm ready to complain again this year, and I'm ready to have the exact same complaint I do every single year. Although at least they did somewhat address the layoffs.
I think 2 hours is enough.
You could cut out some of these trailers. I'm sorry. Like, we don't need all these mobile game trailers. We don't need the Game Pass. We had 3 Game Pass trailers tonight, dude. Like, we don't need those. I don't like the... I mean, listen, I'm very hyped for Witcher 4. A 6-minute cinematic is a little ridiculous, though. Honestly.
It's a lot.
I find that a little silly. There's several things that I feel like we didn't need to have.
Yep. You, sir, are correct. But this is how Keighley wants to run a show, and that's
and here's the thing, like, I don't actually hate Jeff Keighley.
I don't either.
Oh, I think God, they have one more thing before we get to Game of the Year.
I think the show, outside of the trailers, is actually really well produced and really well done.
So this has to be... I don't mean to cut you off. This has to be the PlayStation game.
Yeah.
This has to be something from Santa Monica or Naughty Dog here.
Yeah. I guess we're going to find out. Here we go. What do we think it is? 10th anniversary. What is this? Man, that... Interesting.
Yeah. I feel like this is Santa Monica.
It's got to be Look, it's Santa Monica. It's the space game.
That's why I was thinking it.
Maybe?
Wait,
what's that Capcom game that we haven't heard anything from for 2 years?
I don't think that's it, though. Porsche? That say Porsche?
It does say Porsche on it.
What the fuck?
What is this Daft Punk music video doing in my video game?
I don't know, but I'm okay with it.
Maybe Porsche sponsors it.
Oh, well, you know, part of the internet's going to be mad about this one already.
Oh, oh no. Hate the internet. This interesting. This is this reminds me of a mix of Cyberpunk and Starfield.
Yeah, I'm really intrigued by this. I'm sorry for anybody listening to this. Like we're watching this in real time.
Yeah. This is Eye Patch Lady.
But this is all in engine and it's impressive.
Yeah. Yeah, this is pretty it's pretty impressive. Is that what's his face up there?
Kumail Nanjiani?
Yeah.
It might be.
Dang. Okay. Is this like you think this is like a bounty hunting game? Is that seems?
I would be okay with that.
Yeah.
Whoever is the developer of this, I'm super intrigued.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's Nanjiani.
Yeah. Yeah, this is like this is really intriguing.
Yeah. Whoever's making this, it's short of it being a mobile game, this would shoot up my most anticipated list.
Man, see you on the other side.
Yep, Sony. There we go. It's Santa Monica. It's like bounty hunting Guardians of the Galaxy is what I'm feeling.
Yeah.
Pet Shop Boys. Okay, I kind of love that. Adidas? What the fuck is happening?
Is this how games are going to be budgeted now? Is they're going to find sponsors like Porsche and Adidas to pay for certain things?
Yeah, I don't love all the brands that they just advertised, but I'm super interested. Oh, it's Naughty Dog.
Oh, really? This is not. Oh, okay. Okay. I guess that explains why it looks so good. Okay.
I'm so happy this is something other than The Last of Us. I can't begin to describe.
Hold on, I want to see this sword fight. Okay, I'm into it. I like it.
I'm all the way here for it.
Intergalactic. I like it.
I like it too. And I love that, unless I missed it when I cut away for a split second, that it did not say from Neil Druckmann.
Yeah.
I'm sure he's about to say it here, though.
Yeah. Well, there's another director there, right? There's another game director. Because he's co-president now.
There it is.
Did he say it? Did he say Neil Druckmann? This game looks really cool. Yeah, okay. You're a little bit ahead of me. It looks cool. I'm into it.
So, Jason Schreier indicated this game was probably at least 2 years away.
It's been in development since 2020, it says. God. That was okay. That game looks cool. I'm in it. I'm into it.
That was very cool. I'm not thrilled with the amount of brands that we saw, but the vibe is so good that I'm like less bothered.
Yeah. I'm telling you though, like with these budgets being so big, I wonder if you're going to start seeing brands like that being shown in games to, cover some of the budget.
I love Sven. Sven is so good.
Jeez. This has been a really interesting award show, to say the least. I don't know. That game looks cool. I gotta say,
Intergalactic, yeah.
Intergalactic looks really
That
cool.
instantly becomes, and I mean, I'm very hyped for Ghost of Yotei. I have another Sony game that I'm very excited for now
Yeah, I mean,
because
Ghost of Yotei or Ghost. Like when I played Ghost of Tsushima, I was just like, oh, I'm just playing Assassin's Creed. I'm like, I've played this game before. This game looks something like
it's
something new.
funny, like because I totally agree with that, but it's the best of that genre, which is why I think I like it so much. There hasn't been a single Assassin's Creed game that stacks up to Tsushima for me, and I really love 2 Brotherhood and Odyssey.
Yeah, Odyssey's awesome.
Cassandra's so good. She's such a good
Yeah,
character.
yeah, yeah.
Also, we should not lose sight of what Sven is saying right now is very important.
I can't hear what he's saying.
That you have to put your people first.
Yeah,
He is saying what nobody else has the stones or the ability to get up there and say. Let's be totally honest.
yeah, of course. But who's gonna tell him no? You know?
Right? Who the fuck's gonna tell him to get off the stage?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, oh no, I'll just go make my own game and sell it. Yeah, good, good. At least somebody said it, right?
That was funny. If you get cut off, you can always come back next year and chat for 3 more minutes. I am very intrigued to see which ones. I feel at this point that it's narrowed to Astrobot and Metaphor.
Yeah,
No
I don't know,
disrespect
man.
to Final Fantasy.
Man, every time I'm like, yeah, but then I think of the other ones for a little bit longer than I should. I'm like, I don't know.
Oh,
I don't
Flute
know.
Guy!
Flute guy. You think he knows he's a meme?
Yes.
He's got to know, right?
There was a whole profile on him like 2 days after it last year.
Oh. Well, if you get Uber strategist emails, Josh, don't open it because it just told me the game of the year winner.
Did it really?
Yeah.
I don't get theirs.
I didn't see who it was because it cut it off, but like
That's funny.
it said, congratulations to blah blah blah, and I was like, oh my god, can't.
All right, come on. It's time to wrap this up.
I don't know, man. Balatro took the world over, man.
Yeah, man, I feel like Balatro is still kind of the dark horse here, though.
Yeah, I hope it wins. Just like in like a funny
I
way. I
would
hope
want it to
wins.
win to watch the absolute meltdown.
Yeah,
And it's not that it's not deserving. I have personally not played Balatro. I will be playing it before our Game of the Year discussions.
yeah.
But yeah, I think basically I'd be okay with anything winning it, like short of Wukong, honestly.
Yeah, I'm a little shocked that Wukong is up there, to be honest.
I keep saying that. I'm just very surprised.
Yeah, I mean, the more I think about it, and like, I'm just like, I don't know. It doesn't really like it's cool. It's a big deal for Chinese development, but it doesn't really. It's not anything we haven't seen
I
before.
personally think it gets booted if Indiana Jones came out in time.
Yeah.
And that's not my own bias. That is just like judging on the reactions I have seen and the reviews I read. I think that Indiana Jones beats it.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, look at that clear trumpet.
I also, man, I said I was okay with anything else winning, and then I remembered Shadow of the Erdtree.
Yeah, no, I don't want Shadow of the Erdtree to win, man. I will take literally anything else.
I would not take Wukong.
I just don't want DLC to win, man, when there's so many other games that deserve it. When there's real
it just felt really like very quick-handed to be like, oh, I'm doing it this way, like, because Elden Ring has to be nominated, and it's like, no, make a best DLC category.
Yeah.
How do you do Final Fantasy VII and not play One Wing Angel for part of your medley?
I don't. Square's really picky with their music, though, man.
Yeah, I know.
I mean, remember when like Smash Brothers, people were complaining that Final Fantasy VII didn't have any music, and they got 2 songs for the Sephiroth DLC.
That's true. That's true. But I feel like this is a little bit different than a Nintendo game that has to be there in perpetuity.
Yeah, I mean that's fair.
All right, here we go. Here we go. Open it up, Sven.
Oh, man.
Astrobot.
Dang. Is that Mark Cerny? Mark Cerny always looks like he needs a haircut, man. I'm glad. That's a good choice.
It's a very good. It's a very good choice. I mean, Astrobot's a phenomenal game. Like,
plus, like,
I don't know how anybody can be upset about this. I personally would not have voted for it. It is not going to make my top 5, but that does not take away that it's an incredible game.
It also tells, like, it finishes off the good feeling story of the game and Sony's 30th anniversary, and it's celebrating Sony's history in games. Like it's like a nice cap to that game's existence. I think that's nice. I'm happy with it.
I'm happy with it. It definitely could have been worse.
Look at the security guards.
So that was a lot of the speculation about, like, if Elden Ring was going to get it this year, was to make up for that incident.
Yeah. Dude, security guards everywhere. Not shocked, but it's just funny you actually see them now.
I'm actually shocked that Elden Ring got completely shut out. I'm genuinely floored.
I wonder, because I don't know. I wonder if this was just like we don't want that anti-vote thing, like, why is DLC nominated? Let's vote for something else, because, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. It just feels like a message was sent by it being shut out everywhere.
Yeah, I think it was just like, hey, we want to give it to something different. Like, we let it clean up in these categories a couple years ago. What did it truly do differently?
Yeah.
I think is a pretty fair question. Like, don't get me wrong, Shadow of the Erdtree, one of the great DLCs of all time. Not taking away from that. But was it better than the other games that came out this year?
Right.
And you can make, I think you can make a compelling argument that it was. I've seen 2 people I respect say, hey, this would be a game that I would personally put above most other games I played this year.
Yeah, I'm not arguing that aspect. I'm just like, if you're game of the year, right? I mean, you want to give it to, I feel like you want to give it to a game. That's my only thing. I don't know. Maybe I'm old fashioned, Josh. So I'm glad Astrobot won. I'm really happy Astrobot won. It makes me feel good that Astrobot won.
Astrobot is the real feel good winner, I think.
Yeah.
I mean, God, like, I think there was a really good distribution of awards this year. Mm-hmm. And even though it's not the one I would have personally picked, I can't be upset about it at all.
Yep.
How do you get upset about Astrobot winning this? You don't.
Right. You can't. You just can't. Man, I'm so happy right now. I'm really happy for Astrobot. I'm really happy. I don't know why I'm so happy. Like, I don't really care about like from a gaming standpoint, but I think what it does is really neat and really exciting and, fresh outside of the Nintendo sphere. Like, I don't know. I'm really happy for it. Nailed it. No notes. Go team.
No notes. Go team. Let's get out of here, man. We've been here for so long.
Yeah.
I'm tired. You're tired. They're tired of hearing us.
It's Jeff's fault. He kept us.
It is Jeff's fault. I'm not going to lie. As soon as I saw it, I just closed out my tab. I was like, all right, we're done. we're done here.
Yep. All right, everybody. Thank you for hanging out here with the Game Awards. For the Game Awards with us. This is our last Xbox Casuals of the year, right, Josh? Yeah, because 2 weeks is Christmas.
Yep.
And Hanukkah.
Yep.
So
we will not be back until after New Year's. We'll figure out when we're gonna come back.
Yeah. We will be back for Tower Casuals next week, though.
Yes.
We have some.
We have the awards, the Tower Casuals Awards next week.
Yep. Tower Casuals Awards. Vote. Get your votes in. Thank you, everybody, for watching and or listening. Thank you for putting up with us all year. We're gearing up for an exciting year of Xbox, Josh. I'm very excited to say that, since, Destiny's kind of seeming like it's winding down a little bit, at least for us. And it just means Xbox Casuals is on the rise. I'm very excited. So, Josh, thank you for your time tonight, as always. Thanks for being the narrator of our Game Awards watch.
My inability to shut the fuck up.
I mean, it would be a bad podcast if nobody was talking, right? So, the Muppets are dancing.
I closed it out. I can't do this.
It's fine. Wow. It's a special thanks to staff and crew for your dedication. I feel like that's text on now. Whatever. I can't watch this. Anyways, Josh, thank you for your time tonight. Everybody out there, thank you for your time. We will see you back on Xbox Casuals in 2025. Goodbye, everybody.